one player scored in double digits. Their team captain, number 14, playing the opposite hitter position to Than Thuan. So siya ang kailangan markahan ng Pilipinas dito. John Vic de Guzman scoring off the block for the first point of our team.
Very important for the Philippines, of course, to be really solid with their net defense. This comes after we saw Vietnam last night beat the Philippines 15-9 in terms of kill blocks.
Let's see if Vietnam will continue to rely on their captain, Tu Tan Thuan, because their reliance on him was very excessive in that first match against Indonesia, and they went to him on the first two tosses there. This is Duong Van Tien, had 4 points against Indonesia. Retamar tossing it up to Bagunas. And a lot of people were, the entire country, in fact, raving about the performance of Josh Retamar in his SEA Games debut, coach.
It was something that many people did not expect, but based on what we saw of Retamar throughout his young UAAP career, truly capable, extremely gifted. And he combined, of course, with Bagunas and Mark Espejo, who scored in double figures for the Philippines, as this tandem had 35 out of the 79 points scored by the Philippines against Cambodia in that 78-minute win in the first match of Team Philippines.
Bagunas trying to slam that volleyball down, but it is Vietnam that's able to do that.
Right, in transition, Vietnam able to counter-attack. You pointed out the leading scorer of Vietnam, who had 19 points. Out of the 73 attempts for Vietnam in that loss to Indonesia, he had 34 of the 73 shots taken by Vietnam against Indonesia.
And Coach Thai Quang Lai of Vietnam making an adjustment. Number 6, who played sparingly.
Played one set.
Played one set in that first match against Indonesia, starting Nguyen Than Hai.
It was an attack error already committed by de Guzman, but then let's take a look at this sequence, because the point will go to the Philippines. Would be a net touch called against Vietnam. The Philippines had 17 kill blocks in that win versus Cambodia, with Retamar registering 6 kill blocks. Scored 11 points of his own. Amazing performance.
Vietnam able to tie things up. Bagunas trying to get busy at the top of the net. So in the early goings, Tu Than Thuan continues to be in attack mode as we have our first challenge of the match.
A lot of familiar names for our volleyball followers. As we take a look at Ricky Marcos, of course, and Brian Bagunas and Kim Malabunga, key players for the National University Bulldogs, of which national team head coach Dante Alinsunurin took to the finals, and they were able to win in the most recent UAAP competition.
5 NU players of coach Dante Alinsunurin in this lineup. Bagunas, Retamar, Malabunga, Saura, and Ricky Marcos.
Well, of course, Rex Intal, Ish Polvorosa, and Mark Espejo traces their roots to the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
And we have not seen Polvorosa and Intal in action so far in the SEA Games. Abdilia and Umandal also did not see action in the first match against Cambodia, so I'm sure a lot of fans are excited to see those players contribute to our cause.
Jao Umandal is very young, but he has already made it to the Southeast Asian Games national team roster. And that is just a glimpse or a picture on how good this spiker is. Comes from the Growling Tigers stable.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was successful.
Wow.
Great call for the Philippines. 2-point lead against Vietnam. Very important to have a blistering start against Vietnam.
De Guzman. It's a back set. And finally, Bagunas getting his hands on that volleyball.
Over the
Unfortunately,
blockers.
Vietnam able to recover.
And Vietnam is able to score against Malabunga and Retamar's two-man wall. From a 2-point lead, cushion is down to 1 for the Philippines.
Kung may T4 yung women's team,
T3 ba?
T3 na.
Sabi ko na eh. Talagang mapalad ka ngayon, Anton. At yan ang hinahanap natin. A little bit of luck and divine intervention that we may be able to cross over to the semis eventually.
Bagunas. Another one of his heavy serves.
But Vietnam will cut into a 2-point lead. On their counter, Vietnam was 30 of 73. In terms of shots taken against Indonesia, Indonesia meanwhile, a very high rate at 50 out of 80. While the Philippines was 37 of 77 versus Cambodia. Cambodia 37 of 84 versus the blue shirts of the Philippines.
Bagunas with a back row bomb puts the Philippines on top 6-4.
The second leading scorer for the Philippines, behind the 21 points scored by the scoring machine, Mark Espejo. Bagunas was 8 of 24 against Cambodia. At ang kagandahan, going to the dynamic duo ni Espejo at itong si Bagunas. Espejo also was the second leading receiver para sa Pilipinas with 8 out of 18 excellent receptions.
Now, two players who played only in the third set against Indonesia are making an impact right away. Number 6 and number 12, Nguyen Than Hai and Nguyen Din Nu.
Who played in the third set against Indonesia off the bench. Hopefully this will be the sign of things to come, not only for Espejo but for the rest of Team Philippines, as we take a look at the incoming sophomore for the Bulldogs, Retamar, on deck to serve for the first time.
Service line for the Philippines. As we lead 8-5. Another quick attack by the Vietnamese side. Espejo over the blockers.
2 points for Espejo in the first set. The first of many to come for the former King Eagle, who once registered over 50 points in the semifinal match.
55, coach.
55, over 50 in a semifinal match versus FAU a couple of years ago.
In a match that coincidentally you and I covered.
Right. 55 points in a volleyball game. Unbelievable.
Meanwhile, Vietnam showing a lot of variety to start off this match, coach. Duong Van Tien getting involved for his ball club.
And they need to be in that level in terms of ball distribution, because I'm sure that they saw how well we defended Cambodia. 17 out of 50 kill block attempts.
They go to the middle for Francis Saura.
Specialty of the house for Saura.
A wild scramble for the volleyball. Another opportunity for the Philippines. Look at them fly, look at them soar, and look at Bagunas score.
Everybody was flying high, misdirection from the left, even from the right. But Bagunas was the one who finished off that point for the Philippines. Saura, and then Espejo faking, attracting one blocker, and then freeing up Bagunas for a slight second to give the Philippines a chance to score. And Bagunas will score once again, 4-point lead, Philippines.
Espejo loading up on that serve as he normally does.
Philippines committed 19 errors to Cambodia's 16 during our first win, while for Indonesia against Vietnam, Vietnam only had 18. Indonesia committed 27 against them in the first loss of Vietnam against Indonesia.
Here's the pass, here's the toss, and here's the spike from Brian Bagunas.
Down the line coming from Bagunas. How many times will you see Mark Espejo and Brian Bagunas playing for one team? They played against each other for the longest time in their UAAP careers. Espejo frustrated Bagunas so many times in their face-off until Espejo graduated and Bagunas was king of the UAAP together with the NU Bulldogs. Vietnam fighting hard, staying tough. The Philippines still holding a 3-point lead at 11-8.
Now, although it's still very early in the match, the Philippines looks a lot more composed than they were in that first set against Cambodia, a set that was extended.
That could have gone either way.
Yes. They had to dig deep in that set. Coach Dante had to make some adjustments towards the end. But the Philippines came through.
That was against two of the taller blockers for Team Philippines, getting scored on. Good fake, delayed two-man wall for the Philippines.
11-9 in favor of the Philippines. At stake is a chance to advance to the semifinals.
One of two teams that will advance to the semis in Group A.
John Vic de Guzman. Too strong on that serve.
Vietnam's ranking in the FIVB is number 37. While for the Philippines, we are at number 117. Let me double check this. For Vietnam, number 65. Philippines, number 131.
I believe the earlier ranking was the women's.
For the women's, right. And Vietnam was the 2017 bronze medalists, meaning they finished third. While the Philippines secured a 2005 podium finish against a hard-fighting unit, led, of course, by Eliza Valdez.
Bagunas leading the way so far for the Philippines in this match. 14-10 is our tally.
Second service error for the Philippines. We had 9 service aces versus Cambodia. Cambodia scored one single ace against the Philippines. Vietnam also had one of their own against Indonesia last December 2nd.
Here's the pass. And the toss to Espejo.
Espejo once again shows us the qualities that made him a multiple MVP recipient in the UAAP. Played as an import likewise overseas.
And someone that our team sorely missed 2 years ago.
Correct.
In Kuala Lumpur. And what an impact he has made.
Power tip for Vietnam. That will be Nguyen Tan Hai who will score, whom you pointed out earlier, played briefly that match versus Indonesia, but getting early playing time against the Philippines.
Nguyen Dinh Nhu to serve it up.
2 non-starters who are getting the starting net today. Over received. That's a free gift for Vietnam, and they will take that point away from the Philippines. Bagunas over receiving.
A better pass by Brian. Goes to the middle.
Right. It's Cambodia. Retamar, a double threat with 3 service aces. Looks to add on to his ace tally and looks to push the Philippines to a bigger advantage versus Vietnam. Good first ball for Vietnam. Quick play for Vietnam. The yellow shirts. Dong Van Tien scoring. Van Tien had 4 points versus Indonesia. Tied with Mu Mok Hong behind the 19 points delivered by Tu Tan Tuan.
Bagunas tossing it up for
nice.
Espejo. How about that?
How about the delay for Espejo? Waiting for the blockers to go down a bit before striking the ball. It's not all about force, it's about timing. Well placed. Just a very accurate attacker. So hard to defend. Espejo.
And that time, sinigurado ni Mark na papasok yung bola.
Hindi basta lakas, kundi yung precision. Oh, nice fake play. This unit is playing with a lot of cohesion. And the rhythm is there for this unit. Look at that set coming from Retamar. Pointing his body towards the open and then shifting that set to the right. 4-point lead. Team Philippines. Service ace.
Kinargahan na.
Sobra.
Kinargahan na ni Mark Espejo.
Look at Mark Alfafara, Ish Polvorosa, and the ageless, the evergreen Jesse Lopez.
Who was very crucial coming in that first set against Cambodia.
Had the chance to cover Coach Dante Edensunurin and Jesse Lopez playing for one Philippine international team that played against the best players in the world. And that was an invitational tournament hosted by the country 5 years ago.
And that's the type of role and leadership that you need for somebody like Jesse Lopez. The experience that he can impart to the younger players on this ball club. Retamar. Oh!
Look at the float from the back row. For Espejo, was he stepping on the line? Net touch. Look at the vertical. Look at how long he stayed in mid-air. Vietnam down by 3. As Dong Van Tien prepares to serve.
Quick attack.
Second one for Saura. And he scores once again. Good ball distribution coming from Joshua Retamar. Varying his sets. And just making sure that his points of attack are not easily identified by Vietnam's defense.
Saura and the Philippines just 5 points away from taking set number 1. 3 blockers. Sinabayan itong si Le Quang Can.
Still a dangerous opponent. Can't let your guard down against the yellow shirts. Bronze medalists in the 2017 Southeast Asian Games in Kuala Lumpur. The win here today by the Philippines will move them over to the semis and will eliminate a third-place team 2 years ago.
Over in Group A, Thailand picking up a win 1-0 against Singapore, and then Myanmar also defeated Singapore. So it looks like Thailand and Myanmar will be advancing from that group, Coach.
That will be on the other draw. Of course, Thailand has dominated the opposition from 2011 to 2017, winning for 8 straight years, meaning 4 straight Southeast Asian Games executions.
Espejo with the absorption. Bagunas with...
Iba na talaga yung nakakauna ka ng panalo eh. The months of preparation will only give you so much in terms of application and execution. It really will boil down to the actual competition. Ricky Marcos trying to keep that ball alive. Goes down with a thumb up sign that our chief umpire will call that point in favor of Vietnam. Last time the Philippines landed in the medal round was in 2005. And a win here today will push us into a knockout match between the top team. Who could be the top team in the opposite draw? We still have one game to play after today's match against Vietnam.
Look at Pagunas will go up for the hit. Vietnam able to recover, a chance to attack. 3 blockers went up there. Pagunas is up there as always. And he sends that volleyball down.
That is the happy place of Brian Pagunas. If Vietnam has T3, we have B2. Pagunas will explode and detonate. An all-important point for Team Philippines, 4-point lead. And only 2 points away from winning the first set. A lot of multiple MVP winners for Team Philippines.
What a save by Ricky Marcos. Back row attack by Pagunas. Quick attack by Vietnam. A whistle was blown. Umaalog yung net. Le Quan Can back at the service line. Here's the toss for Espejo.
Wow. Zone 5 was the target. Deep, long. And look how fast the ball goes down. Disallowing anyone to cover. 4 set points for the Philippines. As Pagunas and Espejo once again combining to lift the offense of the Philippines past the defensive schemes of Vietnam. That will be all here in the first set. The Philippines will close the door in Vietnam.